Yo, what's going on, Lakers fans? This is Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and tough loss last night as the Lakers fell to the Phoenix Suns to go 3-1 on their early season. But honestly, I'm actually still pretty encouraged by last night's game despite the loss. LeBron James had a historically poor performance shooting-wise, shooting 3 of 14 from the field. I don't know if he's ever actually finished a game 3 of 14 from the field in his entire career. It was that bad of a performance. And the Lakers, despite that, still had control over the majority of the game. They just couldn't execute on both ends down the stretch, and the refs didn't help either. Having said that, we are now a week into the NBA regular season, and in this episode, I wanted to highlight 5 specific stats from the Lakers' end of things that I wanted to expound on a little bit more. 3 stats are quite positive and very encouraging, and 2 stats are a little bit more worrisome and something to keep track of moving forward. But yeah, why don't we get right into things? First, some really quick general stats. On the year overall, the Lakers are 5th in offensive rating at 117.9. They are 20th in defensive rating at 114.4. And they have an overall net rating of 3.5, which ranks them 7th in the league. And honestly, all of those early stats make a lot of sense, although I do think the defense has actually looked a bit better than what that defensive rating shows at 20th in the league. Having said that, those are the Lakers' general stats. Overall, being 3-1 and being 7th in the league in overall net rating, I think is a perfectly fine start for the Lakers. Now, with that said, let's get straight into my 5 specific stats of this early season for the Lakers that I want to hone in on. For my first intriguing Lakers stat to highlight through the Lakers' first 4 games, let's start by talking about offensive rebounding. And I want you guys to guess who currently leads the team in offensive rebounding. Because conventional wisdom would say that Anthony Davis is for sure 100% leading the Lakers in offensive rebounding because he has been an absolute beast on the boards, averaging 12 rebounds per game. Of course it's Anthony Davis. Well, of course not. Because the player averaging the most offensive rebounds on the team through the first 4 games is not Anthony Davis, it's not LeBron James, it's not Jackson Hayes. It is the rampaging Rui-bounder himself, Mr. Rui Hachimura. That's right, the Black Samurai currently averages the most offensive rebounds per game on the Lakers team, averaging 3.5 offensive rebounds per game. Anthony Davis is actually second, averaging 3 offensive rebounds. And overall, Rui Hachimura is averaging nearly 8 rebounds per game this season and had his first double-double last night versus the Suns with 20 points and 10 rebounds. And yeah, Rui Hachimura has just been a man on a mission on the boards this year, or I guess a samurai. Nay, a shogun on the mission this season when it comes to tracking and securing rebounds, especially offensive rebounds. I have never seen Rui Hachimura's rebounding motor run this high and this consistently in his time with the Lakers and in his time in the NBA in general. And he has really taken to JJ Redick's directive to corner crash and just make yourself available at all times to fight for the ball once a shot goes up. And yeah, Rui's just been crashing the glass, tossing his body around in the paint with a very inspired and relentless tenacity that has been one of the most pleasant surprises so far in this early season. And he's been using his big, bulky frame to really create space in the paint and nab extra possessions for the Lakers and really do a good job of using his wingspan to secure those boards. And last night, 5 of Rui's 10 rebounds were all offensive rebounds, which is just tremendous. So please, board samurai, keep it up. This is exactly what we need from you. All right, let's move on to my second interesting stat that I want to highlight. And on the same topic of rebounding, let's now shift our focus over to a guard. Because to that same end of Rui Hachimura's increased rebounding tenacity, I really wanted to highlight Austin Reaves' rebounding. Now look, Austin Reaves has been fantastic overall. He's averaging 19 points, 5 assists, shooting 54% from the field and 48% from 3. He nearly single-handedly won the Lakers the game down the stretch versus the Suns. But the stat that I really want to highlight for Austin is also his rebounding. Austin Reaves is currently averaging 7 rebounds a game per season. That is the same amount of rebounds that LeBron James is currently averaging. On top of it, Austin Reeves is also averaging 2 offensive rebounds a game, which would place him third on the team behind Rui Hachimura and Anthony Davis. And Austin Reeves is doing all of this as a 6'5" guard. So huge props to Austin Reeves for just really bringing that hustle and grit to the glass, and also taking to JJ Redick's directive to corner crash and just really go after the ball. The way that Austin's been flying around and tracking rebounds has reminded me a lot of his first year in the league, where he really made his mark as a defensive garbage man type who would do all of the little things. But now Austin Reeves is just doing everything. He's scoring, he's shooting threes, he's assisting, and apparently now he's just rebounding the hell out of the ball with 7 rebounds per game. So that is my second most interesting stat that I really wanted to highlight and hone in on. Austin Reeves, 7 rebounds per game. He's probably going to settle in as a 5.5 to 6.5 rebounds per game sort of guard, but you cannot deny Austin Reeves' energy and activity on the boards this season. All right, number 3, let's move on to a team stat, and I want to talk about three-point percentage. So let's talk about the Lakers and three-point shooting. Despite the Lakers shooting 5 of 30, 16% from 3 in their first game versus the Timberwolves, and despite the Lakers shooting horrifically for much of their preseason, the Lakers over the last 3 games have now shot 42 of 93 from 3, which is a 45% three-point shooting percentage, which is an extremely stellar number and would put them at number 1 in three-point percentage on the league if that were their only games that counted. And even if you factor in their 5 of 30 performance from 3 in Game 1, the Lakers on the year are now shooting 38.2% from 3, which currently ranks them as 4th in the league in three-point percentage, just behind the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Golden State Warriors. So yeah, the Lakers have really found a bit of their rhythm from three-point land the last couple of games, particularly when it comes to hitting transition threes, as Game 2 versus the Suns showed at home. And last night versus the Suns on the road, the three-point shooting came more off of the backs of Austin Reeves, who hit 5, and Rui Hachimura, who hit 3. But yeah, in general, the fact that the Lakers are starting to come into a groove from downtown and are already shooting 38%, in spite of the fact that their literal best three-point shooter last season in D'Angelo Russell has been very inconsistent to start this year and is only shooting 28% from 3, it's very encouraging news. Because you know D'Angelo Russell's eventually going to get with the program, he's eventually going to hit his stride and find his way back up to 38 to 40% three-point shooting as he's done every season the last 2 seasons. So yeah, the Lakers have done a really good job of hitting their threes, and as JJ Redick has been saying all throughout preseason and in Game 1, continue to shoot those shots, we will eventually make them, just continue to take them. Now the Lakers do rank 26 in three-point field goals attempted, so they do still need to work on upping their volume. But at the very least, the Lakers are at a very good starting point three-point shooting-wise, and there is still a lot of meat to be chewed on the bone there when it comes to shooting. All right, let's now close this episode with 2 slightly concerning stats. And while we transition over to that segment, I'd just like to remind you guys to please do me a favor and like this video, comment down below, and most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It helps out a lot. Also, by the way, if you guys are into player props and sports betting, there is no better way to do so than with Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports, compete against other players just by selecting higher or lower on 2 or more players' stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. I almost won a $116 6-leg parlay off of a mere $5 bet last night, where I hit on Damian Lillard higher than 23 points, Evan Mobley higher than 14 points, Devin Booker higher than 24.5 points, D'Lo higher than 13.5 points. But unfortunately, I was let down by LeBron James and Dalton Knecht, who couldn't hit their higher props at 22.5 points and 5.5 points respectively. Lasai. But I'm sure they both will rebound in the next game versus the Cavs, so we'll get them next time. But you can get them today by downloading the Underdog app and signing up using code LEGACY and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, Download the Underdog app, sign up, and use code LEGACY and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Higher or lower, you make the call. Turn every Rui Hachimura offensive rebound into a rebound for your wallet. With Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. So yeah, thanks to our sponsor Underdog Fantasy, and with that said, let's get into my two slightly concerning stats about the Lakers thus far through their first 4 games. First, let's talk about D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell, suffice to say, is off to a very slow start offensively this season. His three-point shot hasn't come around yet, and overall, he has been pretty passive. He's only averaging 11 points, 2 rebounds, 5.8 assists on an abysmal 38% from the field and 28% from 3. Now, I think his percentages and his points will all eventually go up as the season progresses. And D'Angelo Russell actually has the second best cumulative plus minus on the team with a plus 28 through 4 games just behind Rui Hachimura, which means whenever he's been put out onto the floor, the Lakers have been winning his minutes in the lineups that he's been in. And he has largely been a very good offensive connector piece with whatever units he's been tossed into. Having said that, here are the real stats that I want to focus on with regards to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell is currently averaging a career low usage percentage. He currently only has a 16.8% usage, which would actually rank him 5th on the team behind even a guy like Rui Hachimura. For reference, D'Angelo Russell is a career 26% usage type of player, and over the last 2 years with the Lakers, he's had a 22% usage or higher. Now he's down to 16.8% usage. And he has been very demonstrably not a focal point of this offense as an on-ball creator or even a shooter or scorer. Now, some of that is due to the rise in play calling and sets that JJ Redick has instilled that no longer needs a high-usage on-ball guard to run the show. But even having said that, to see D'Angelo Russell with a lower usage percentage than Rui Hachimura is very interesting. He also has less shot attempts than Rui Hachimura as well. Granted, so does Austin Reeves, but 10 field goal attempts for D'Angelo Russell would be the lowest amount of attempts that he's ever had in his career, including his rookie season with the Lakers. So I don't know what all that means because the Lakers are currently 3-1, so don't fix what's not broken. And D'Angelo Russell has been doing what the team has asked him to do without complaining, playing off-ball the majority of the time and then playing on-ball when he's asked to do so, particularly in Anthony Davis non-starter lineups. Obviously, D'Angelo Russell needs to shoot better from 3, but at the same time, he also just needs to shoot more and be more aggressive. And I think JJ Redick should probably help him out in that department with some more design sets for open threes, some of the sets that he runs Dalton Connect through, even though I know they're different shooters, D'Angelo Russell and Connect. But we know that D'Angelo Russell is a rhythm type player. And if he's not getting up shots and staying aggressive and engaged offensively, then we're kind of just getting a Rajon Rondo type player who we're relying on to playmake and shove the ball down Anthony Davis's throats, which is fine. But also, that type of player came off of the bench for the Lakers in 2020. So is the eventual solution in getting D'Angelo Russell revved up with more on-ball usage to have him come off the bench? I don't know, but I'm starting to come around to that idea. I don't think Redick will do it in the next 10 games, but maybe this is a discussion we'll have sometime in November. And that actually all leads me to my last pretty worrisome stat of the day. And I want to talk about bench scoring. Because the Lakers are currently dead last in bench scoring in the league, only averaging 16.8 points per game. For reference, the Warriors are number 1, averaging 63 points per game from the bench. But yeah, the Lakers have just been hemorrhaging offensively whenever their bench units have come into the game. And last night, it really burned them versus the Phoenix Suns, because if rookie Dalton Knecht can't hit shots, apparently the bench just isn't scoring that night in general. The Lakers bench only scored 8 points to Phoenix's 22 points off their bench. And yeah, this has just been a very consistent theme for the Lakers through these first 4 games, this lack of offensive production from the bench, and it can't continue if the Lakers want to get to where they want to get to. So I don't know what the solution is here as well, but is shifting D'Angelo Russell to the bench so that the team can have not only a pure point guard to help guys like Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, and Jackson Hayes out, but also to have a pure scorer off the bench as well in D'Angelo Russell himself. So is that the solution? I don't know. It might be, because again, Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, and Jackson Hayes all seem to thrive next to D'Angelo Russell and his ability to find them in their spots. But barring that semi-major shift, which again, I don't think JJ Redick will do until at least mid-season, the guys just have to hit their shots is the simple fact of it. And Christian Wood needs to come back sooner rather than later to help bolster the scoring in this second unit. Dalton needs to keep shooting, and Max Christie just needs to progress in all areas offensively much faster than he has. And yeah, maybe the Lakers also just need to keep bench scoring in mind when they pull off some of their trades that I'm anticipating that they're going to pull off later on in the season. And oh, would you look at that? I have a recent video I did about a week ago covering some of those bench scoring options that the Lakers could look at. And you can watch that video in the link above. Fancy that. But yeah, bench scoring, it's a problem. I hope things turn around. JJ Redick probably needs to do a little bit more tinkering with his staggering of LeBron James and D'Angelo Russell with those bench units and getting them a true point guard at all times. All right, with that said, that'll do it for this video. Overall, this has been a very exciting and refreshing start to the Lakers season. I think we have a really good team here that just needs to stick with it and trust the process. They're only going to get healthier from here, crossing our fingers for sustained health. And thank God that we just have a coach in JJ Redick who gives a damn. But yeah, with that said, please remember to like this video, comment down below, and most importantly, please subscribe. If you guys like this type of statistical update, statistical highlight video that I just did, let me know in the comments below, and I might consider doing more of them as the season progresses. But yeah, most of all, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, this has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys after the next Lakers win. See ya.